Hello everyone. We have started with our new chapter from pharmaceutics second, that is sterile dosage forms. In that we are studying about the parenteral preparations. In previous lecture already we have covered the definition, the ideal properties, advantages, disadvantages of the parenteral preparations. Also we have studied the different routes to administer the parenteral preparations. Again we have seen the types of parenteral preparations and the general requirement for the parenteral preparations. Okay, or which are the different points which are to be considered while preparing the parenteral preparations, or the general requirement for the parenteral preparations, that is the stability of the product, that is the chemical as well as physical stability of the product, then sterility of the product. Okay, the sterility is the important point. Our parenteral preparations are the sterile preparations, means they are completely free from all types of microorganisms as well as pyrogens. So our parenteral preparation should be sterile, and that sterility is maintained from beginning of the preparation or the formulation up to the administration of the product. Okay, that sterility is to be maintained at the different stages of the preparation of these parenteral formulations. Then next are they should be free from pyrogens. Again they should be free from the foreign particles. And to determine the sterility, again pyrogenicity of the product, the different tests are done, like sterility test, then pyrogen test, again the clarity test are done to ensure the sterility or the pyrogenicity or clarity of these parenteral preparations. Then all the parenteral preparations should be isotonic with our different body fluids in which they are to be administered. Again they should have the same specific gravity as that of the body fluids in which they are to be administered. Again they should be chemically pure, or the chemical impurity should be within the limit as specified in the monographs in the pharmacopoeia. Okay, there are the different limits for the specific chemical impurities in the parenteral preparation. So the parenteral preparation should be within that limit which are specified in the pharmacopoeia. Now in this lecture we will start with a new point, that is formulation of the parenteral preparations. Okay, so while formulating the parenteral preparations, it requires a careful planning and the thorough knowledge of the medicaments as well as the adjuvants or the excipients which are to be used in the parenteral preparations. The excess use of adjuvants in the parenteral product should be avoided, as some of these may interfere with the drug. Okay, so the following substances which are added to make a stable parenteral preparations. Along with drug, these are the different adjuvants or excipients which are added in a parenteral preparation to make a stable product. So these are vehicles. Again different types of vehicles are used according to need of the medicament or need of the formulation. Again the different adjuvants like solubilizing agent, stabilizers, buffering agents, antibacterial agents, chelating agents, suspending, emulsifying and the wetting agents, and the tonicity factor are added in the formulation of parenteral. So now we will see in detail about these excipients. So first are the vehicles. Basically, there are two types of vehicles are used for the parenterals, that is aqueous vehicles and the non-aqueous vehicles. ओके, बेसिकली पॅरेंटल प्रिपरेशनसाठी दोन प्रकारचे व्हेकल्स यूज केले जातात. फर्स्ट आहे ॲक्वायस व्हेकल or the sterile water for injection, and next is the non-aqueous vehicles. Okay, non-aqueous means other than water. So first are the aqueous vehicles. There are three types of aqueous vehicles, that is water for injection or the sterile water for injection, then water for injection free from carbon dioxide, and the water for injection free from dissolved air. Okay, and again this water for injection is a sterile water which is free from volatile, non-volatile impurities and also from the pyrogens. Okay, so basically sterile water for injection is used as a vehicle in the parenteral preparations. Again, it is used for the majority of injection as it is well tolerated by our body, and again it is safest to administer. ओके, स्टराईल वॉटर फॉर इंजेक्शन हे मॅक्झिमम इंजेक्शन्स प्रिपेअर करण्यासाठी यूज केलं जातं. अगेन इट इज वेल टॉलरेटेड बाय आवर बॉडी, अगेन इट इज सेफेस्ट और सेफ टू ॲडमिनिस्टर. सो दिस स्टराईल वॉटर फॉर इंजेक्शन शुड बी फ्री फ्रॉम ऑल volatile, non-volatile and the non-volatile impurities, as well as it is free from pyrogens. Again, these pyrogens are nothing but the byproduct of bacterial metabolism. Okay, pyrogens म्हणजे काय? These are the byproducts of bacterial metabolism. ओके, बॅक्टेरियांच्या मेटाबॉलिझममधून जे काही बाय प्रोडक्ट तयार होतं आहे त्यांना आपण काय म्हणतो? these are the pyrogens. And again these pyrogens are either polysaccharides, then they are thermostable, they are soluble in water, and which are unaffected by the bactericide and can pass through the bacteria proof filters. Okay, so pyrogens, these are the polysaccharide or these are the metabolic byproduct of the bacteria, and these pyrogens are thermostable. Okay, at elevated temperature they are stable or they do not get degraded. So these are the thermostable, or they are stable at the various temperatures. Again, they are soluble in water and are unaffected by the bacteriostatic agent or the bactericide. जे काही डिफरंट बॅक्टेरिसाइड्स आपण प्रोडक्टमध्ये ॲड करतो त्यांचा कोणताही परिणाम पायरोजन्सवरती होत नाही. सो दिस पायरोजन शुड बी गेट रिमूव्ड. अगेन दे कॅन पास थ्रू द बॅक्टेरिया प्रूफ फिल्टर. दे कॅन इझिली पास थ्रू द bacteria proof filter. So the simple distillation process is used to remove these pyrogens, or these pyrogens are removed by the simple distillation process. And again, after removing the pyrogens from a water, it is immediately filled in the final container, sealed and sterilized by the ऑटोक्लेविंग. ओके, स्टराईल वॉटर प्रिपेअर करत असताना सिम्पल डिस्टिलेशन प्रोसेसने पायरोजन्स रिमूव्ह केले जातात. अँड आफ्टर रिमूव्हिंग द पायरोजन्स दॅट पर्टिक्युलर वॉटर इज इमिजिएटली फिल्ड इन द कंटेनर. अगेन दॅट कंटेनर्स आर सील्ड अँड दे आर फायनली स्टरलाइज्ड बाय द ऑटोक्लेविंग प्रोसेस. So why these pyrogens are removed from the water, or what is the significance to remove these pyrogens from water? Okay, if particular water or particular injection contains the pyrogens, and if they are administered, then they cause the rise in body temperature. So to avoid this, the pyrogen should be get removed while making the sterile water. ओके, जसं की आपण आधी बघितलं स्टराईल वॉटर म्हणजे काय किंवा स्टराईल प्रोडक्ट म्हणजे काय, की जे प्रोडक्ट किंवा जे वॉटर कम्प्लिटली फ्री फ्रॉम ऑल टाइप्स ऑफ मायक्रो ऑर्गॅनिझम ॲज वेल एज पायरोजन, ते वॉटर पायरोजन फ्री असलं पाहिजे किंवा पायरोजन्स त्याच्यामध्ये प्रेझेंट नसले पाहिजेत. ओके, जर का ते वॉटर पायरोजन्सनी कंटॅमिनेटेड झालेलं असेल तर काय होणार, ऑटोमॅटिकली आपला प्रोडक्टसुद्धा पायरोजन्सने कंटॅमिनेट होणार. आणि असं जर का इंजेक्शन आपण ॲडमिनिस्टर केलं तर काय होणार, ते जे पायरोजन्स आहेत ते आपल्या बॉडी टेम्परेचर राईज करू शकतात. ओके, सो टू अवॉइड दिस आवर वॉटर शुड बी फ्री फ्रॉम पायरोजन्स. सो वॉटरमधून पायरोजन्ससुद्धा रिमूव्ह केले जातात. So this is about the aqueous vehicles. Okay, so in aqueous vehicle, the sterile water for injection, again water for injection which is free from carbon dioxide, and water for injection free from dissolved air are the use. Okay, again to remove the CO2 and to remove the dissolved air, the degassing of the water is done and the air or the carbon dioxide are removed from the water. Then next are the non-aqueous vehicles. If our drug is insoluble in water, then the different types of non-aqueous vehicles are also used, and the most commonly used non-aqueous vehicles are the oils and the alcohols. Okay, so different types of oils or the vegetable oils or the fixed oils are used, or alcohols are used. So the fixed oils such as arachis oil, cottonseed oil, almond oil and the sesame oil are the used as a vehicle, and these oily vehicles are used when the drug is insoluble or the slightly soluble in water. For example is the dimercaprol injection by using the arachis oil. Okay, so fixed oils like arachis oil, cottonseed oil, almond oil or the sesame oils are used, and when our drug is insoluble in water or it is slightly soluble in water, then for that drug the oily vehicles are used in which that drug is completely soluble. ओके, जर का एखादा ड्रग वॉटरमध्ये इनसोल्युबल असेल किंवा ते स्लाइटली सोल्युबल असेल तर त्या ठिकाणी काय करतात, डिफरंट ऑइली व्हेकल्स किंवा डिफरंट फिक्स्ड ऑइल्स यूज करतात की ज्याच्यामध्ये आपलं ड्रग हे कम्प्लिटली सोल्युबलाइज होऊ शकतं. ओके, सो इथे एक एक्झाम्पल दिलं आहे बघा, डायमर्कॅप्रॉल विच इज अ अँटीडोट or which is used in the acute arsenic poisoning. Okay, or the acute poisoning by the arsenic, gold, mercury, lead. Okay, to remove these toxins, or it is used as an antidote in the poisoning of arsenic, gold, mercury and the lead. So that particular drug is insoluble in water, so for that drug the arachis oil is used, and dimercaprol is completely soluble in arachis oil, so for this drug arachis oil is used as a vehicle. The next are the ethyl alcohol. Ethyl alcohol is used in the preparation of hydrocortisone injection. Okay, hydrocortisone is a steroid drug and which is soluble in the ethyl alcohol, so for this drug ethyl alcohol is used as a vehicle. but the alcohol causes the pain and tissue damage at the site of injection, therefore it is not used commonly. Okay, that particular ethyl alcohol may cause pain or the tissue damage at the site of injection, so it is not most commonly used as a vehicle for the parenterals. The next is the propylene glycol. Propylene glycol is used in the preparation of digoxin injection, and propylene glycol is a non-toxic, but it causes pain on the subcutaneous or the intramuscular injection. Okay, propylene glycol may be used as a vehicle, and again it is a non-toxic, but it causes pain while administering the subcutaneous or the intramuscular injection. Then polyethylene glycol or the glycerine are usually diluted with the sterile water, are used to prepare the solutions for injection, and again they are used as a solvent as well as they increases the stability of preparation. Okay, polyethylene glycol and the glycerine, they are miscible with water, so by mixing in some concentration with the sterile water for injection, they are used as the vehicle for the different parenteral preparation. They also act as a co-solvent and they increases the stability of our parenteral preparation. So the non-aqueous vehicle like fish oil, ethyl alcohol, propylene glycol, PEG, that is polyethylene glycol, and the glycerine are used as a non-aqueous vehicle for the parenteral preparation. So this is about the vehicles. Again, the different adjuvants are need to be added to improve the physical, chemical or the microbiological stability of the product. So these products are added to increase the stability and quality of the product, and all the adjuvants should be physically and chemically compatible with the entire formulation. So adjuvants should be used only when it is absolutely necessary to use them. Okay, and they should be added in the minimum possible quantities. Okay, so to improve the physical and chemical stability of our product, the different adjuvants are need to be added, and they should be used in the minimum possible quantities, and they are added only when the absolute necessity is there. Okay, otherwise they are not added. Again, they should be physically, chemically compatible with the drug as well as the entire formulation. जे काही ॲडज्युएंट्स आपण फॉर्म्युलेशनमध्ये ॲड करू ते पूर्णपणे केमिकली आणि फिजिकली स्टेबल असले पाहिजेत. अगेन ते इतर इन्ग्रेडियंटसोबत किंवा होल फॉर्म्युलेशनसोबत सुद्धा कंपॅटिबल असले पाहिजेत. सो द commonly added adjuvants in the parenteral preparation are solubilizing agents. Okay, solubilizing agents which increases the solubility of the drug, and these are used to increase the solubility of the drugs which are slightly soluble in the water. The drugs which are slightly soluble in water, to improve the solubility of particular drug in the water, the different solubilizing agents are added. So the solubility of the drug is increased by using the surface active agents like twins and the polysorbate, or by using the co-solvent. Okay, जसं की आपण पाहिलं आहे different techniques used to increase the solubility of drug. तर त्यामध्ये को-सॉल्वंट यूज असेल, ओके, किंवा pH ॲडजस्टमेंट असेल, किंवा सरफेस ॲक्टिव्ह एजंट्स यूज करणं असेल. ओके, दीज आर द डिफरंट टेक्निक्स टू इम्प्रूव्ह द सोल्युबिलिटी ऑफ द ड्रग. सो इन पॅरेंटल प्रिपरेशन either the co-solvents are used like polyethylene glycol, glycerin, okay, or the different surface active agents like twins or the polysorbates are used, which increases the solubility of drug in the water. Okay, so this is about the solubilizing agents. Next are the stabilizers. Okay, so the drug in the form of solutions are more liable to the oxidation and the hydrolysis. So stabilizers are added to prevent the oxidation and hydrolysis of the drug in the solution form. Okay, जे ड्रग सोल्युशन फॉर्ममध्ये आहे त्या ड्रगचे ऑक्सिडेशन आणि हायड्रोलायसिस होण्याचे चान्सेस जास्त असतात आणि ऑक्सिडेशन आणखीन हायड्रोलायसिस झाल्यामुळे काय होणार, त्या ड्रगचं डिकम्पोजिशन होऊ शकतं किंवा डिग्रेडेशन होऊ शकतं किंवा त्या ड्रगची पोटेन्सी कमी होऊ शकते, बरोबर आहे. सो टू अवॉइड दिस द ऑक्सिडेशन अँड हायड्रोलायसिस शुड बी अवॉइडेड. ओके, ड्रगचं डिग्रेडेशन किंवा डिकम्पोजिशन होऊ नये यासाठी त्याचं ऑक्सिडेशन आणि हायड्रोलायसिस हे प्रिव्हेंट केलं पाहिजे. सो टू प्रिव्हेंट द ऑक्सिडेशन अँड हायड्रोलायसिस द डिफरंट स्टॅबिलायझिंग एजंट्स आर यूज. सो द फर्स्ट, द ऑक्सिडेशन कॅन बी प्रिव्हेंटेड बाय ॲडिंग द सुटेबल अँटीऑक्सिडंट्स such as thiourea, ascorbic acid, sodium metabisulfite, or the product is sealed in as an atmosphere of nitrogen or the carbon dioxide. Okay, the presence of oxygen may lead to the oxidation of drug. So to avoid the oxidation of drug, different antioxidants are added, and that antioxidant prevents the oxidation of drug. So the antioxidants like thiourea, ascorbic acid, or the sodium metabisulfites are added. Again, that particular product can be sealed in the atmosphere of nitrogen or the carbon dioxide, which can prevent the contact with oxygen. Okay, again the hydrolysis can be prevented by using the non-aqueous vehicle or by adjusting the pH of the preparation. Okay, so to avoid the hydrolysis, for that particular formulation, the non-aqueous vehicles are used, or the vehicles other than water are used, or pH of the formulation is adjusted in such a way that hydrolysis can be avoided. For that, the different buffers are used to maintain that pH of the formulation. The next are the buffering agents. The degradation of the preparation, which is due to the change in pH, can be prevented by adding a suitable buffer to maintain the desired pH. Okay, जर का फॉर्म्युलेशनचा pH चेंज झाला तर काय होऊ शकतं, ते एखादा ड्रग कदाचित चेंज झालेल्या pHमध्ये डिग्रेड होऊ शकतं किंवा त्याच्या प्रॉपर्टीज चेंज होऊ शकतात. सो पर्टिक्युलर ड्रगला सुटेबल असणारा pH मेंटेन करण्यासाठी किंवा त्या फॉर्म्युलेशनची सोल्युबिलिटी किंवा अदर प्रॉपर्टीज मेंटेन करण्यासाठी आपल्याला काय करावं लागतं, एक सुटेबल pH त्याला मेंटेन करावा लागतो. अँड टू मेंटेन दॅट pH, द डिफरंट बफर्स आर ॲडेड, अँड दॅट बफर्स helps to maintain the pH of formulation. Okay, so the different combinations of acid and bases are used, or the different buffer systems are used, like citric acid and sodium citrate. Okay, citric acid and sodium citrate, it is one of the buffer system. Again, acetic acid and sodium acetate, it is again a buffer system. So by using this buffer system, the pH of formulation is maintained at a suitable level. किंवा जो काही pH आपल्याला हवा आहे तो pH मेंटेन करण्याचं काम कोण करते, तर हे बफर्स लाईक सायट्रिक ॲसिड अँड सोडियम सायट्रेट अँड acetic acid and the sodium acetate. The next one is the antibacterial agents. These substances are added to prevent the growth of microorganisms during the storage. Okay, to prevent antibacterial, that is which acts against the bacteria or which kills the bacteria or which prevents the growth of bacteria. So these antibacterial agents are added to prevent the growth of microorganisms during the storage of formulation. So these antibacterial agents also act as a preservatives. So here it is the different types of antibacterial agents and their possible concentration used in the parenteral preparations. So first one is the benzalkonium chloride, which is used in the concentration of 0.01% W by V. Okay, percent W by V means what? Weight added per 100 ml of solution. Okay, तर बेंझाल्कोनियम क्लोराइड हे 0.001% W by V ह्या कॉन्सन्ट्रेशनमध्ये ॲड केलं जातं. म्हणजेच काय, 100 ml फॉर्म्युलेशनमध्ये 0.01% दॅट इज 0.01 ग्राम बेंझाल्कोनियम क्लोराइड ॲड केलं जातं. Then next one is the benzyl alcohol. It is used in the concentration of 1 to 2% W by V. That is 1 to 2 grams of benzyl alcohol is added in the 100 ml of formulation. The next one is the chlorobutyl, which is used in the concentration of 0.25 to 0.5% W by V. The next one is the phenol, which is used in the concentration of 0.5. Then chlorocresol, which is used in the concentration of 0.1 to 0.3% W by V. Then phenyl mercuric salts, phenyl mercuric nitrate or phenyl mercuric citrates are used in the concentration of 0.002% W by V. Then methyl hydroxybenzoate, which is used in the concentration of 0.1 to 0.2% W by V. Okay. अगेन तुम्हाला हे अँटीबॅक्टेरियल एजंट्स अलॉंग विथ देअर कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन एक्झाममध्ये विचारले जातात. दॅट इज राईट डाऊन द डिफरंट अँटीबॅक्टेरियल एजंट्स यूज इन द फॉर्म्युलेशन ऑफ पॅरेंट्रल्स. सो तुम्हाला तिथे अँटीबॅक्टेरियल एजंट्स अलॉंग विथ देअर कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन माहिती असले पाहिजे. द नेक्स्ट आर द चिलेटिंग एजंट्स. So chelating agents means what? They are also known as complexing agents. So these chelating agents are added to complex or to form a water soluble complexes with the metal ions, and by this way they inactivate the metal ions which are present in the water, and the metal ions such as copper, iron and zinc, which may catalyze the oxidative degradation of the drug. So to avoid this, the different chelating agents are added. Okay. So chelating agent म्हणजे काय? These are the complexing agents. तर आता हे चिलेटिंग एजंटचा रोल काय आहे? तर चिलेटिंग एजंट्स काय करतात? जे काही वॉटरमध्ये मेटल आयन्स प्रेझेंट असतील, ओके, मेटलचे आयन्स जे काही प्रेझेंट असतात, मेटल्स लाईक आयर्न, कॉपर किंवा झिंक, तर ह्या मेटल आयन्ससोबत चिलेटिंग एजंट्स हे कॉम्प्लेक्स तयार करतात किंवा त्याच्यापासून वॉटर सोल्युबल असे कॉम्प्लेक्सेस तयार करतात. त्यामुळे काय होतं? ते मेटल आयन्स इनॲक्टिवेट केले जातात. ओके. जर का ते मेटल आयन्स इनॲक्टिवेट केले नाही तर काय होणार? ते आपल्या ड्रग्ससोबत रिॲक्ट होणार किंवा ड्रग्सचं ऑक्सिडेशन करून त्यांचं डिग्रेडेशन करू शकतात. सो टू अवॉइड द ऑक्सिडेटिव्ह डिग्रेडेशन ऑफ अवर ड्रग, दॅट मेटल आयन्स शुड बी इनॲक्टिवेटेड. and that inactivation is done by using chelating agents. Okay, so the well-known chelating agent is the EDTA, that is ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid. Okay, or its salts can be used, or the sodium or potassium salts of the citric acid are added in the formulation to chelate the metallic ion present in the formulation, and they form a complex which gets dissolved in the solvent. Okay, so this is the role of chelating agent, and examples of chelating agent are the EDTA, that is ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid, or the sodium or potassium salts of citric acid are used as a chelating agents. Okay. The next are the tonicity factors. As we have seen in the general requirements of parental preparation, that is our parental preparation should be isotonic with the body fluids. So to make the preparation isotonic, the different tonicity adjusting agents or the tonicity factors are used to make the parental preparation isotonic with the body fluids. As we know, the 0.9% NaCl is isotonic with the body fluids. The parental preparation should be isotonic with the blood plasma or the other body fluids, and the isotonicity of the solution is adjusted by adding the sodium chloride, dextrose and the boric acid in a suitable quantities. Also, we have seen the significance of tonicity or significance of the isotonicity. Okay, to avoid the shrinkage or swelling or bursting of the RBCs, the parental preparation should be isotonic with the blood plasma or the other body fluids, and that tonicity is adjusted by adding the sodium chloride, dextrose or the boric acid. Okay. The next are the suspending, emulsifying and the wetting agents. First one is the suspending agents. When our drug is insoluble in water, the suspensions are prepared, and to suspend that particular drug particles uniformly in the formulation, the suspending agents are added, and that suspending agents either improves the viscosity of our solvent, and they suspend the particles of drug for the longer time in the formulation. Okay, suspending agents काय करतात, either आपल्या व्हेइकलची विस्कॉसिटी इन्क्रीज करतात. विस्कॉसिटी इन्क्रीज केल्यामुळे काय होतं आहे, सेटलिंग ऑफ द ड्रग पार्टिकल इज मिनिमाइज, so that they helps to suspend the drug particles uniformly in the formulation. So the suspending agents used for parentals are methyl cellulose, gelatin and the acacia. The methyl cellulose, gelatin or acacia are commonly used suspending agents in the parental preparations. And they should be sterilized before adding in the formulation. Again, some emulsifying agents are added in the sterile emulsions where our drugs are oily. For that drug, the emulsions are prepared. So the different emulsifying agents are added in the sterile emulsions. Commonly the lecithin is used in the as the emulsifying agent in the sterile emulsion. The next are the wetting agents. The wetting agents are used to reduce the interfacial tension between the solid particles and the liquid so as to prevent the formation of lumps. Okay. To improve the wettability of drug by the solvent, the different wetting agents are added, and what they does, they minimize or they reduces the interfacial tension between the drug particle and vehicle. ड्रग पार्टिकल आणि व्हेकल यांच्या सरफेसेसमधलं जे काही आपण इंटरफेशियल टेन्शन म्हणतो, ओके, ते रिड्यूस केल्यामुळे काय होतं, ड्रगचं वॉटर त्या पर्टिक्युलर व्हेकलने इझी वेटिंग होऊ शकतं. सो टू इम्प्रूव्ह द वेटेबिलिटी अँड टू मिनिमाइज द लम्प फॉर्मेशन ऑफ ड्रग, द वेटिंग एजंट्स आर ॲडेड. ओके. जर का ड्रगचं पुअर वेटिंग झालं तर काय होणार, ड्रग पार्टिकल्स अगेन एकमेकांना स्टिक होणार आणि त्यापासून लम्प फॉर्म होऊ शकतात. सो टू अवॉइड द लम्प फॉर्मेशन अँड टू इन्क्रीज द वेटेबिलिटी ऑफ द ड्रग, द डिफरंट वेटिंग एजंट्स आर ॲडेड. आणि हे वेटिंग एजंट्स काय करतात, दे रिड्युसेस द इंटरफेशियल टेन्शन बिटवीन द ड्रग पार्टिकल अँड द व्हेकल. ड्रग पार्टिकल आणि व्हेकल यांच्या सरफेसेसमधलं ते टेन्शन रिड्यूस करतात. ते रिड्यूस केल्यामुळे काय होतं आहे, आपल्या ड्रग पार्टिकलचं व्हेकलने इझी वेटिंग होऊ शकतं. ओके. दे ऑल्सो ॲक्ट ॲज अ अँटी फोमिंग एजंट टू सबसाइड द फोम प्रोड्यूस ड्युरिंग द शेकिंग ऑफ द प्रिपरेशन. ओके. प्रिपरेशन यूज करण्याआधी जर का आपण शेक केलं तर काय होऊ शकतं, त्यातून फोम तयार होऊ शकतो. सो टू prevent that foam formation, particular wetting agent also act as an anti-foaming agent. They prevent the foam formation during the shaking of preparation. Okay, so this is about the formulation of parenteral preparation. The different types of adjuvants which are added in the formulation. First are the vehicles. In that again aqueous vehicles and non-aqueous vehicles are used. Aqueous मध्ये sterile water for injection is used. Again sterile water for injection, free from carbon dioxide and free from dissolved air are used. Again sterile water is prepared by the simple distillation method and the pyrogens are removed by the simple distillation method. And again it is immediately filled and sealed in the final container, and again it is sterilized by autoclaving. In non-aqueous vehicles, the different oils like arachis oil, almond oil, sesame oil or cottonseed oil are used. Again ethyl alcohol, propylene glycol, polyethylene glycol and glycerin are used as a non-aqueous solvents. Then the different adjuvants are added to improve the physical and chemical stability of the product. First are the solubilizing agent, which are used to increase the solubility of the drug. Then stabilizers are added to prevent the oxidation and hydrolysis of the drug. Again the buffering agents are added to maintain the pH of formulation. Then different antibacterial agents are added to prevent the growth of bacteria, and they also act as a preservatives. And again these are the different types of antibacterial agents along with their concentration added in the parenteral preparations. The next are the chelating agents are added, which forms the water soluble complexes with the metal ions, and they prevents the oxidative degradation of the drug. Again the different tonicity factors or tonicity adjusting agents are added to make the parenteral preparation isotonic with the blood plasma. So the sodium chloride, dextrose and boric acid are used as a tonicity factors. The next are the suspending agents. Suspending agents are added to improve the viscosity and to keep the drug particles uniformly suspended in the preparation. Again, the suspending agents used are the methyl cellulose, gelatin and the acacia. Again, the different emulsifying agents are added in the sterile emulsion, and the different wetting agents are added to reduce the interfacial tension between the drug particle and vehicle and to prevent the lump formation. And again, these wetting agents also act as a anti-foaming agent which prevents the foam formation during the shaking or preparation. Okay, so this is about the formulation of parenteral preparation. Again, this is important as per the exam point of view. Many times the question is asked, that is, write down the formulation of parenteral preparation. So you have to write what you have seen in this lecture. Okay, all types of vehicles and adjuvants you have to write in the answer. Okay, again, so for any query please ask to me, and thank you for your attention. Okay, thank you.